Academy. It's now quarter to 10 a.m. It's time to teach.
And that was a busy morning of lessons. Not too bad for a Friday, eh? I've had lunch, I gotta get some work done, but I desperately need a nap and a cup of coffee. Desperately. Four down, two to go. I want to talk to you about my upcoming book and what I've been thinking regarding the distance between events and how you can track your progress. As some of you might know, I'm writing a new book. It's called Hiding the Teaching. Subtitle is going to be something like how to teach students who don't want to be taught but still want to learn. I mentioned the book before, and this book is going to be for teachers, not only music teachers, definitely not only drum teachers, but teachers, educators of all sorts, of all kinds. It will hopefully shed some light on teaching and how I teach, my insight on educating people of all ages, all nationalities. I've taught over 15, 20 different nationalities. And what that taught me is that we are very much alike. You see, most people don't like to be taught. And that's not because we have anything against learning, it's just because we are naturally against being told what to do. And that's not a bad thing. The problem is that teachers tend to force their way onto students. So it's like, do what I tell you, because I told you so. Just do it. Be quiet. Often we find more resistance after that. You wonder, right? The goal of this book is going to be to share techniques on how to hide the teaching and of course still teach a student. Mostly everyone wants to learn. What people don't enjoy is the process of being told what to do. Think about that. The other thing that I would like to talk about today is how I track my own progress when it comes to playing or the business or my own personal life. I measure the distance between events. That basically means that I'm gonna track the last thing I did that I found successful or fulfilling, something that made me happy, something that made me feel contentment. And I backtrack and I see how long ago that was. And then I do the same thing for the previous events that I found successful in my life. And as soon as I find a pattern in terms of how long it takes me to produce something that makes me happy, then I set a deadline for the next one. Now I'm going with that pattern first. So in other words, if you find yourself doing things that you find successful or enjoyable, whatever that might be, every 3 months, then set a deadline that if your last successful or fulfilling thing that you did was 2 months ago, you got 1 month to do your next thing. When you do that next thing, then you set yourself to accomplish something else 2 months after that one. So now you're reducing that timeline. Hopefully you'll get to a point that you're going to be able to accomplish things every day. And not because we have to do that, but because it's enjoyable to accomplish things. Now, they won't all be big things, okay? I would advise everyone to celebrate small victories. Every time I have a great day of teaching and I really feel engaged with my students and I really feel that I'm connecting with people, I celebrate that. I talk about that at home, I share that experience, I celebrate it. I'm happy, I get excited, so yeah, I talk about it. So, for you to track your progress, measure the distance between your successful / fulfilling events of your life. If you can backlog like that, it will be a lot easier for you to predict the next one. And then you can start manipulating those predictions, and instead of predictions, you start planning. Alright, 2 more students today, but my next student is only in 1 hour, so I'm gonna get some practice down. That's 1 hour of practice. I've been preparing material for this Sunday's workshop, which is already the day after tomorrow. Okay, it's now 6:30, 6:30 p.m. My next student is in half an hour, so I'm gonna chill, grab a cup of coffee. I deserve one. And the break is over. It's time to teach 2 more students today. It's almost 7 p.m. Let's do this. And that, my friends, was 10 hours. 10 hours. I've been here since 10 a.m. It's now 15 past 8 p.m. 10 hours. Granted, I wasn't teaching the whole time, but I was working. 10 hours. Alright, time to go home. Apparently there's pizza waiting for me. My favorite food. So here are my last thoughts of the day. The message that I would like to pass on to my students is this. The only difference between all of you and the best drummers in the world is just the way the best drummers in the world think. The way they see that next challenge as achievable. You see, the way I break it down is this. What's for some mere imagination is for others their next goal. Think about it.